Hi everyone, it's Mazanko, and in anticipation of my upcoming release Psychosomatic Waves, I want to discuss prime number Polymeter, which was used extensively throughout that record, but it was also introduced in my first album, Destruction of the Outer Realm. Most of that album is made without a click track, but one of the examples where a click track was used is in stillheten, where I used the polymeter of 17 against 19 in two tempos. And I'm going to demonstrate that for you. And the cool possibility of using these kinds of prime number polymeters is that you can produce the most complex patterns. And when you get really complicated, like I do on Psychosomatic Waves, and I'll make some videos of that later on, you start to see that you get this repetition, but the parts repeat at different lengths. So it's as a composite, it never truly repeats, and they never line up on one throughout the whole course of a piece when the numbers get really complicated. So first, since the tempo is already in 100 in the 19 beat group, we're going to demonstrate that one for you, as seen here. Okay. Let's solo up those tracks and put on the click. So now you can get an idea of what that sounds like. And I'm going to give you the down. One, 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 one. So now you can get an idea of what that sounds like. And if you were able to follow along, there were 19 beats per phrase. So now let's move on to the second part of that. And we have to change the tempo here in order to do that. This is one of the ways you can go about using Polytempo. Another way is to create a click in a different session and import the click so that you don't have to toggle back and forth like this. But when I was recording this part, this is how I achieved that, and there's no easy way I know of in a DAW to do that. So now let's look at the part that I put against this here in 17, 136 BPM. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so now you have a bit of an idea of what that part sounds like on its own. And I think using these kinds of polymeters, and in this case, Polytempo, which I didn't use at all on the upcoming Mazanko album, are really cool ways to generate some interesting counterpoint that can sound very tricky to the ear. So now let's disenable the click track, and let's listen to how these two parts work together. And that'll be it for this video. And then later on, in anticipation to Psychosomatic Waves, I will talk about some of the techniques that went into that. Okay.